guys. As I said, we're getting some good wind out here today. Now I'm not going to fill this stove up and do a how long does it burn test. I'm not even sure. I didn't read the box to tell you exactly how much it holds. I want to say it holds an ounce, but it looks like it holds a little bit more than that. But just put a little bit in there. It's probably a quarter of the way full. Now keep in mind, this is titanium, so I mean it is really strong, but it's still really thin. So you don't want to manhandle this. You don't want to, you know, it's not going to crush on you, but don't just try to shove it together. You might end up warping it. Alright, it sets down in there. Just squirt us a little bit on top, probably way more than I needed. Get my striker here. I'll tell you what, before we even do that, let's get the I just got a little piece of foil to put around it to try to help with the wind. Can we see the, can you see down in there any? Got my wife behind the camera, y'all. Alright, we are burning. I can see the blue flame anyway. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but I can see the flame. We'll put us a little bit of water in here. That's probably about a cup of water that I've got in there right now. I still feel heat, so it's still burning. I can see it. I don't see it priming yet, but it's light enough outside we may not see it prime. Now I can see it dancing and starting to. Trying to keep my hand back from the heat so I don't end up going to the emergency room tonight. Cooked kin don't taste good. Right, we're going to go ahead and put the pot on it and hope that I'm getting enough airflow around it that it doesn't blow out the alcohol. You can see the flames coming up pretty good now. It's actually priming. It's starting to come out of the little holes there. So let's put that on there, and said I've got maybe a cup of water in there at the most. Let's see if we can open this up and y'all can see it a little bit. If I have to, I'll just turn it around. We're going to go off the tripod here for a second, y'all excuse me. Alright, so I don't know if y'all can see that. Yeah, I can see it pretty good in the viewfinder there. So it's coming out pretty good. The wind's kicking in there a little bit, blowing it around, so we're going to close this windscreen back up. But you can see it didn't take it long at all to prime. Now I'm not going to cut this. This is going to be one continuous take, so that we can see how long it takes, at least for 1 cup of water. If I wanted to fill it up, we could do 2 cups, but I don't feel the need to do a 2-cup burn test because it's just me. And you know, if I'm out there by myself cooking, I'm only going to need a cup at a time. So I'll cook 1 cup of water and put it in my Mountain House meal or my freeze-dried meal, whatever I'm going to be eating. Then I'll put another cup of water on to make my hot cocoa. That way my cocoa or my coffee or whatever is good and hot and ready to drink for me. And you know, stuff like this isn't replacing campfire. This is just another method I have for cooking when I'm out there in the woods. You know, a lot of us are already seeing it. You run into areas where you're not allowed to burn. They have burn bans and what have you, due to droughts and that kind of thing. So you know, this is a way I can cook something to eat. Plus this is 5 days a week. This is what I do for lunch. I cook. I don't go to McDonald's and buy food and spend money that, you know, I'm working hard for. I'd rather buy something that may still actually be food instead of whatever it is McDonald's selling us. And then I've got something good to eat. Those Chi-Chi meals that I showed in my last video, the one right before this, those are some good meals for $2 a piece, y'all. I mean, that was probably some of the best store-bought ready-made food I've ever eaten in my life. It tastes just like you come out of the restaurant. I saw little wisps of steam in there. Of course, now the wind's blowing even harder. But we still got flame. And I see bubbles in the bottom of my cup. And if I do have to cut this, y'all, I'll annotate in the sidebar, you know, time and stuff like that. I'll watch the video, get the time off of it. I didn't bring my phone out here to time it for you. Turn this windscreen a little bit. The wind's coming from the front, so we'll pop the windscreen on the other side there.